I need some coffee. I need some coffee. Some coffee in my life. I just woke up, took a shower, brushed my teeth. Probably gonna go for a walk in a little bit after this. I just kind of want to do a checkup. This is so weird. I'm not used to this, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, what's this? No risk, no reward. Take a risk on your talents, people. Take a risk on your creativity. What do you do for yourself that you can offer to the world? What can you share? What value do you bring? That's what I feel. So since the cards are ready, we're going to get it going. We're going to get this started. So what we're going to be looking at here is the focus, the challenge, and the outcome of June. Our focus here is going to be, what can we do at the moment? What can we do at the moment that we need to focus on? What do we need to set our priorities straight towards? What is our direction for June, right? So what is it? Strength. So we have that Leo here. And you know, sometimes this actually, for me, this card is actually Capricorn. Just for the bones and all of this, you need a good foundation in order to keep yourself going. And what this basically feels like is creating that foundation. So this being the focus of June here is basically telling me that a lot of what people are going through right now is finding what gives them strength, finding what gives them the ability to keep going, finding the things that nourish us, right? So this is the focus at the moment. A lot of what I'm also feeling is, since there's an emphasis on that cranial here, this symbolizing Aries too, this basically feels like, what can we achieve within the moment, within the day, this is like seize the day type of thing. What can we get done? This is that check mark on that list. This is writing the list and then checking them off. This feels like a lot of what the collective focus here is, prioritizing needs versus wants. And a lot of what we need is what gives us that strength. And I think a lot of what people are realizing is that they need a lot more support, especially with the bones there. They need a lot more support, whether that be from family, friends, whoever it might be. I think a lot of people are kind of yearning for more, yearning for that nurture, in order for them to continue. This feels like a lot of people are recognizing what they need in order to continue their goals, in order to continue whatever it is that they're, learning that they need to prioritize. This could also have a lot to do with people's health. I'm seeing a lot of bone sacral energy here. So maybe this has a lot more to do with your sexual energy and trying to figure out where have I learned the things that I've learned? What have I, come up with to a point where I can recognize what I need in a relationship or in a family bond or in a friendship? What do I really need within myself today, not who I was before? So the focus right now is really internal. We're in our minds right now, trying to figure out what will create a sturdy foundation so that I can build it on. What have I done to create this foundation? So the challenge here is, so we have the Mummy. It says change. And what this basically tells me, but this is in the reverse here. So what this basically tells me is that a lot of people are having a hard time changing certain things about themselves, or really just acknowledging those feelings and thoughts of failure, of mistake, of doubt, of just not being able to, continue in a way where things actually work out. This feels like there's a lot of fear here when it comes to changing. when it comes to being, you know, someone who offers, who is actually that catalyst towards this change. I think a lot of people are struggling to see a way out, really, or just not knowing what to do anymore. There's a lot of people here struggling with this fear of, what if I'm stuck here and I have to deal with it? What if I can't? What if I don't have the money? What if I'm not physically fit, or I can't handle it, type of thing? This is a lot of doubt within us, that maybe what we actually want isn't something that we can see us getting to a point of. Does that make sense? I hope so. This feels like a lot of hardship, especially mental thoughts. There's a lot of mental fog here. There's an emphasis on the cranial, the head. There's a possible chance that a lot of people are very confused about what steps to make here, and that's creating that challenge, especially when it comes down to wanting to have a foundation where it's sturdy and strong, but not knowing how to get there, type of thing. So let's see what this outcome is. It feels like a silence, but a thoughts of, you know, negativity could probably, see, this was on the bottom of the deck and I didn't want to say anything and she came out. So, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? So with this jack-o'-lantern, with this card of protection, and then the veil, the future is right underneath here with the shadow card. So I want to talk about this shadow card before I get into this outcome, because I think the shadow card actually really does reveal a lot about what we've been talking about so far. A lot of the focus here is on the future. And because the focus is on the future, we're having a hard time being present. Right? So with that being said, the future, we might not necessarily have a complete thought out plan or idea or whatever it might be. We have this vision of what we want things to be, when, you know, God, spirit, source, whoever you believe in, is basically pushing us towards that direction. However, that might not be the end result, if that makes sense. So this could probably be like, you might not necessarily know where you're heading, but you know that you're destined for greatness, and that greatness isn't some grandiose, however the hell you say it, okay? However the hell you say it. This feels like you need that imagination in order to kind of concoct, to, you know, put things into the kettle, type of thing, where what can you see yourself doing? What do you visualize yourself doing? And it's not necessarily a permanent thought within yourself. However, you have to recognize that you can be what you want to be. Can you visualize it? Can you imagine it? Can you wake up tomorrow and act like, you know, whoever it is that you want to achieve, or you want to get to a place of? Also, I'm having a hard time neglecting the idea that a lot of people aren't in the present moment. A lot of people aren't enjoying the life that they're, you know, living right now, because they want to get somewhere else. They want to achieve a certain, you know, income, or it's a weight goal that they want to get towards, and they don't see the, you know, they don't give love to the body that they have. They don't give love to the food that they have on the table, the home that they have, the car that they have. There's a need here for a little bit more gratitude as far as the present moment goes, because the present moment is what's going to lead us. The actions that we take in our present, while yes, it's okay to be kind of foggy sometimes, the actions that we take in our present today is what kind of leads us towards that future, right? And right underneath that card here is forgiveness. So there's a need for forgiveness in order for you to let the past go, right? Going back to that foundation here, there are certain things in your foundation that are crippling, you know, the building process. And with that building process, it's creating, you know, doubt within you, if whether or not you can actually change, you know, what you're going through. Is there a possibility here? Is there a time limit? Is there, what constraints are you, you know, up against, basically? So with this future card, you have that protection, which is that jack-o'-lantern. And what this basically tells me is, You're learning that you're going to have to place a certain face for certain people, especially when it comes to your past, when it comes to the things you're ready to let go of, the things that you've outgrown, the things that you've become more than, right? And it's not to say that the things that you're leaving are less than, it's just to say that you no longer resonate with those things, people, friends, family, ideas, career paths, whatever it might be here. And you have to understand that in order for you to get to this place of strength, which is your focus, you're going to have to protect your sanity. And by protecting your sanity, you're going to have to think things through. But in order for you to think things through and feel better about the things that you're thinking of, you have to take action. So the challenge here is taking action, not being able to do the things that you want to do at the moment, which is creating that frustration. There's not much frustration here, but there is a lot of insight as far as what, or not insight, is insight the word I'm looking for? I feel like this is that light bulb effect, basically, like when you take this veil off of what you think your future should look like and realize that there's so much more to be achieved here, then you'll start to realize that there are things that you will have to let go of and forgive, and allow yourself to release in order for you to see the reality of what your future is. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go turn this off. So this reading feels like the collective as a whole is kind of crossing our T's and dotting our I's type of thing, making sure that we're on the right path. I think a lot of people are, myself included, sobering up to a place where they're recognizing the mistakes that they've made. They're recognizing their weaknesses. They're recognizing, their strengths also. They're recognizing what they are capable of doing versus what, they think they want to do type of thing. And there's a difference between being capable of something and understanding, what do I actually want to do. Me being capable of something doesn't mean that I want to set my future on it. And whatever makes you feel like this is leading you towards something better is something that you want to invest into. So let's get into the tarot. I actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull a Goddess Oracle deck and see what the feminine is talking about. Let's see what's going on here. So when I talk about feminine and masculine, I don't necessarily mean gender. While if I do mean gender, I will say female or male. I'm unaware of, if you don't like it, I'm sorry, okay? But it helps to kind of break things down here, especially when it comes down to gender, sex, sexuality, whatever it might be here. Feminine and masculine aren't necessarily external things, but female and male are, however. So that's just anatomy here. So let's see what's going on. I want to see what the goddesses have to say. I feel like a lot of fierceness is here. Leo season is going to bring something. And I can't put my name, I can't put, my tongue, finger, whatever it is on it. But this feels like there's a calm. There's a calm before the storm. And the storm isn't a bad one. It's going to shift a couple things here. And with this shift by October, I think we'll start to see ourselves in a more sturdier foundation. October is going to bring a lot here, but it's going to require that you show yourself in a way where you stand up. You own this rage. There's a rage here. And this could probably be that frustration, right? That frustration when it comes down to making decisions. Hello, Hecate. So making decisions here, this is you again at the crossroads, understanding past, present, and future, what you're really letting go of, what you're currently taking with you, and what you're moving towards. So with Hecate, this basically tells me that, you know, as a collective here, I'm hearing it's time to face the music. It's time to face the music. It's time to get up. It's time to, you know, make a move. Make a move. I think this feels like a now or never type of thing because there's a cycle that's waiting to happen here. And with this cycle, it's going to bring a lot of decisions that you're going to have to, once again, recognize the things that you don't need, recognize the things that you currently need, and recognize the things that you're moving towards getting. Whether that be, you know, that family, that house, property, whatever it is. I think you have to understand where you're heading, what you're leaving behind, and what you're taking with you. There's a sense of mystery here, though, because you don't actually really understand what, you know, God, Spirit, Source is trying to tell you. There's a feeling here where you're not sure anymore. You don't know what you're good at. There's a feeling here that you haven't had much fun in a while. You know, assuming COVID messed everything up, not assuming, it really did mess everything up. This feels like a lot of people have just they haven't been in a place where they've been, you know, laughing or having fun with people, or maybe they're looking for these things. They're looking for groups of people who can offer them this type of help or whatever it might have to deal with. So this feels like a lot of what is going on with this unconscious aspect within the collective here is having faith that we will make the right decisions, having faith within ourselves, intuitively knowing, right? Knowing that, yes, this is a very serious matter, but I can also take care of this right now because it'll make me feel better, right? I think prioritizing your happiness here is what's going to kind of help lift that doubt away. And with this doubt, it's going to, you know, create that mental fog. However, the more that we actively, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? There's an intention here when it comes down to nourishment. There's an intention here that comes down to physical activity. There's an intention here that needs to take place when it comes down to getting certain things done that we want to pursue. You know, finding people, mentors, friends who are into the same things that we're into, asking for help. This feels like in order for us to get out of this mental fog, we have to kind of take ourselves out of it and look at it from a perspective of, you know, this is a lot. And because this is a lot, I need to take a step back and kind of reflect on how I want to approach this. That's exactly how this feels. Making time for laughter and fun is definitely important because, you know, if we're all serious all the time, our bodies kind of, you know, they get tired, they get stressed. We're still little kids at heart sometimes. Some of us, I am, truthfully. So it feels, it feels like a lot of people are just in that place where they need to let loose, have fun, whatever that might look like for you. Hit somebody up, go meet some new friends, whatever it is. So now let's get into the tarot, because I do see a couple things here that I want to kind of touch base on. More importantly, I want to be able to clear this fogginess, this mental doubt, this confusion. And with this confusion is going to bring in a sense of worthiness once we kind of overcome. Maybe there's a lot of financial loss here. There's something here that you're worried about. You want to be this person who is very financially stable, and this is creating, you know, that frustration within you because you want a foundation that is set and still versus, you know, rocky. So we'll see how this goes. So whoever you are, if you're watching this reading, take a deep breath for me, please. Cool. That was easy. Yeah, there's a lot of sacrifices that are coming towards us that we need to make. But with these sacrifices, we recognize that they go towards people who need it, whether that's, you know, sharing clothes I'm seeing, or offering help in some way. This could also be a father figure that's trying to create balance within his children, especially when it comes down to his finances. I'm hearing a lot of masculinity here. So with this masculinity, this feels like a lot of, you know, maybe the masculine community is recognizing the sacrifices that they'll have to make in order to be this leader, to be this, to bring back balance to the people of this earth, I think. And that's very heavy, truthfully. And, you know, aside from the masculine feminine thing, this is just a lot of people wanting to be able to create balance within their finances. A lot of struggle, or if not struggle, just time management and prioritizing. There's a need here for checks and balances, I'm hearing. Yeah, because there's an insecurity when it comes down to wanting to pursue certain things because of the hard work it'll have to take to, you know, get to a place of stability, to get to a place of financial gain here. But this is Six of Pentacles, and this is the Seven of Pentacles. This insecurity is what's holding you back from creating that action. This action here is kind of what's holding or stalling the ability to progress, basically. Can I get my words out today? And with this inability to progress, to create progress, to progress, instead of degress. Ooh, come on, Wahida. It's like, so this basically feels like, in order for us to get out of this mental prison, because that's what this feels like, especially with that first card and the second card right next to each other. This mental prison here that we're kind of keeping ourselves stuck in, I should put it up here instead, is slowly kind of easing itself to a place of clarity, because once we recognize the things we have to let go of, hint, hint, that past, and we make a decision, right? And with this decision, although it brings insecurity, and sometimes we have trouble creating that action or bringing forth that action, it's kind of like the standstill between you and yourself, because this is what you need to do and this is what you're leading towards. However, this mental fog, this insecurity here, is the difference between how long it takes versus where where it is you actually want to go. Because I think the hardest part here is just getting started. The hardest part is just getting started in order to just stop judging yourself based on how you're going to get there. That was a lot. There's a lot of pentacles here. A lot of people are focused on, and look at that, the Queen of Pentacles. You went from the 6 to 8 to the Queen. I know that's right. Okay. So this feels like, again, you're moving forward, especially with that in the upside, or in the shadow card. So with this being said, this feels like the Queen of Pentacles here is forcing us, she's not forcing anything. She's planted the seeds and now she's seeing the fruit of her labor. So this is something that you're leading towards here. So while you may still be stuck in this mental fog, while you still may be stuck in this place of uncertainty, right, with new that mysterious part of you, you have to understand that there's a protection here on your life, on your fort, on yourself. Basically, you know, God's spirit source is creating a pathway for you to release, so that you understand that that forgiveness card right underneath the future card here. And underneath that forgiveness card is understand that you have no control in this. And no control oftentimes forgive me, is a good thing. A good thing in the sense that we feel protected. A good thing in the sense that we understand that there's a higher force here at play. There's a higher entity helping us. Whether we believe in God's spirit source, whoever, Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, whoever it is that you believe in, there's a source that's assisting us in recognizing what we have to let go of and understanding the things that we need presently. And then recognizing how we're going to get to where we want to go, but understanding that we don't necessarily know, right? But our future is kind of set in a way where I have food on my table. I have clothes to wear. I have money to spend, whether it's $50, $20, 10, right? 10 million, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat, whatever you can achieve, whatever you get to a place of. But there's a need here for gratitude. Gratitude is a must. And with this sense of gratitude, we understand our divinity in having no control. In having no control, especially when it comes down to understanding our worthiness. This card keeps calling out to me here. I don't know if this is a peacock or a phoenix, whatever it is, but I think it's a peacock. But it's time for us to, understand what we bring to the table for ourselves to eat before we can offer anyone else nourishment. And, if you do have other people that you do need to nourish and, feed and give and sustain and provide for, this is why we're hesitant to make certain decisions. This is why we're hesitant to, start over, basically, because if we want to create this new job, this new foundation, create that business, whatever it might be, go back to school, it's going to take a toll on, our finances. However, with time management, with, the help of people who you do trust, people who you can, rely on, whatever that might mean for you and your situation, there's a need here to be able to get out of this mental fog and insecurity so that you can ask for help, so that you can get what you need presently. This is a beautiful reading, truthfully. There's a lot of earth here, so there's a lot of material possessions, a lot of right now. So this is the present moment here. But I'm seeing a timeline of events. You might have made sacrifices and then you're moving towards creating, income or whatever that might mean for you, and then you're going to achieve it. However, it's with this worthiness here, it says, I feel worthy and have very special talents that will help me to achieve my dreams. This requires that you believe in yourself. This requires that you understand what you're good at, what you're capable of, what you're willing to do, and stand on that. Stand on it. So I want to pull a couple more cards here from this deck. I think this is the Thoth deck. And with that fortune card on the bottom. That fortune card on the bottom. So we have fortune and pleasure. So whoever, is tapping into this reading here, and, I claim this for myself too, because this is actually really wonderful. This is the build up to the success. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon, baby. So this is one of those things where you have to take your time. Stop judging yourself on this journey. And with this judgment here, this judgment is your battle. If you think you're fighting anything, you're fighting yourself here. Princess of Cups and the Nine of Cups. There's a couple messages here. There could be an offer. There could be someone here that's ready to share something with you, or you're ready to share yourself with somebody. Now we're kind of peeping towards the love here. Let's see what else we've got. I am gonna shuffle a little bit more. I'm seeing a lot of green, so maybe there's a need here for grounding, getting out and back into earth, or just understanding how to ground yourself, right? So let's get into this. What are these crossroads, this decision that we have to make here? What advice do you have? With this crossroads, this feels like there's so many directions, and with however many options that we do have, this is creating complacency, laziness, cut your options short. That's probably what that Six of Pentacles is also kind of hinting towards, because there's a need here for you to understand, child. It's time to clean up. It's time to clean up. For sure. So we have a debauch card, and as you can see, there's a lot of filth that we have to clean up, whether that's in our minds, our bodies, whether that we need to detox, whatever that might mean for you. Clean our rooms, our apartments, houses, clear your space, your car. This is a clearing, a cleaning. This is a, damn, you live like this type of thing in your head. And that could just be how we talk to ourselves. That could just be how we treat ourselves. That could just be overall, what are we willing to do? What are we willing to do to clear and clean up our cups? Our cups seem to be filled with poisons of the past. It's the past that's holding us back from, you know, feeling disappointment, feeling, and this is the disappointment card. However, it did come in the upside down. So I think the difference between understanding this fear of disappointment will be from how you nurture yourself, how you take care of yourself in this process. Are you waking up making your bread? Are you waking up making your bed, you know, cleaning your room, taking a shower, having a routine that's going to help you sustain this foundation that you're leaning, you want to be, right? So that foundation is the place that you want to be here, but you have to clean up. You have to clean up. There's a lot of I'm sorry's that you're not going to get, that you have to let go of. There's a lot of, you know, people who you no longer want to surround yourself with, and it's actually very hurtful. There's a lot of pain here when it comes to actually letting things go, regardless of how poisonous they've become in our lives. This could be addictions also. This could be, you know, drinking, smoking, whatever it might be. These habits here, along with the mental fog, are your battles right now. And this battle is meant to be won, because there is no disappointment where you're going. You won't be disappointed by letting these things go, or it's hard to say that you'll completely let them go, but you know, as of right now, these are struggles within us that we have to completely let go of. 100%. So I do want to end this here. I want to do some affirmations, however. Let's get into these affirmations. That worthiness card did come out, so I am gonna for sure use that one in. I am gonna post this on the website. I'm about to do this right now, because if I don't I'm about to go on a walk and then come back and take a nap. Stupid. So let's get into these affirmations. Let's get into this. For the collective, what's going on here? We have empowerment. We have a couple cards. 3. Empowerment, ambition, and faith. 10 out of 10. This reading is beautiful. So your first card here is empowerment. It says, I recognize and appreciate all that inspires me to feel empowered. And this goes back to that feeling, those feelings of worthiness, creating that foundation within ourselves where we can be honest. And when I say honest, this is empowering. Honesty is empowering, because I'm not going to tell you that I'm good at something and I have no idea how to do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you that I would like to do something and I don't want to do it. This honesty is what's going to create that firm foundation, that strength within us. You know, going back to that first card with the bones, to feel empowered is to be honest with ourselves about the things that inspire us, the things that give us drive, the things that give us that motivation to say, I'm going to do this and I want to do this, and then continue to do it. That's what we're looking for, that drive here. So it says, I recognize and appreciate all that inspires me to feel empowered. And with that second card here, we have ambition. It says, I am ambitious and do not procrastinate or waste time being negative. See, there's a whole timeline here. I feel like we're kind of repeating ourselves, especially the cards in different decks also, because we're in a place presently where we feel ambitious, but we also procrastinate because we are wasting time being negative, or we're wasting time kind of questioning the how or the when or the what or type of thing. And we don't really understand the why anymore. And the why is why we continue to, it feels like not knowing why you do certain things is the reason why it's continuing in this cycle, because we have to get to the root of the problem here. So there's a lot of present moment shadow self work here, especially with that mental fog and the debauchery. This is hindering us from our ambitions. This is hindering us from our passions. That mental fog. So that's something that we really gotta kind of, I don't know what that was, but this feels a lot like, I don't feel pressure in this, but there's a need for action, a call for action for sure. So with this last card, it says, I have faith that I can manifest the wealth and prosperity that I desire. So these cards here are for sure linking together. So I want to show this. I do. So the strength card, right? So with this strength card, this is the first card that we got. This is the focus. Our focus at the moment here is to find empowerment and creating, space for the things that we need. So with that space requires sacrifice. With that space requires sacrifice here. So moving on to our challenge, however, our challenge here comes from, not being able to take that action because we feel insecure to move towards these things that we want, our goals. We feel not as ambitious here. And there's I'm feeling like a lot of procrastination or wasting time being negative about the things that we do want to change, because what if I don't want to change? What if I do want to change? What if I do like the way that I'm living? What if I don't? Again, you have to clear the crossroads here and understand, what are you willing to leave behind to get to where you want to go? What are you, ready to do for yourself so that you can create the foundation to where you're going? And then where do you actually see yourself going? Where do you see yourself going? With this being said, however, moving towards the outcome of the entire reading, there's a need here for you to understand that time will tell. Time will tell, especially when it comes down to what you're willing to do to protect this future, to protect this outcome that you're looking towards, right? And this is what we're this is what we're leading more towards, this fulfillment when it comes down to, seeing our fruits bear. We went from this needing to sacrifice to understanding that we are that goddamn tree. Whatever plant that you see, whatever seed that you plant, whatever seed that you plant here, she's here holding that coin, and that's you. I feel like a lot of people will be coming to you, for advice, whatever that might mean. But nonetheless, this is a general reading. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This was truthfully a good reading. This was a great reading. Taking this in for myself also. But we really have to clear that gunk out. Clear the gunk out, because your idea of disappointment is not actually something that's going to happen. There's no reason for you to feel disappointed, because whether you clean up or not, No, I'm not saying that. You have to clean up, because the disappointment that's going to come from this is if you don't. And when I say clean up, I mean spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. This is getting to the root of the problem. This is understanding why you are the way that you are. This is that deep shadow work. This is sevens. You don't get to the treasure by, hiding away. You have to confront the things that you have to change. And that's exactly what this is. So I'm going to leave this here before I start rambling even more, because I will. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you would like a personal reading, please visit lolahoneyaroma.com. Bear with me. I'm working here too, so I have insecurities also. So when it comes down to my business, for sure, this is not an easy practice, I will say, but I love it. So if you need anything, bye.